Hey everybody. Um, it wasn't too long ago that I had dinner with a friend of mine, and he shared his feelings about the loss of a friend of his, and how he had been struggling with it every year. When that day comes up, he just struggles. It throws him into just an absolute pit of despair. And it's something I've noticed that a lot of us do, is we memorize these dates, these points in time throughout the year in which something painful had happened to us or someone that we love. And I've seen folks through my years in social work who have dealt with more tragedy than you would care to imagine. And hearing a similar tale from one of my friends, I looked him in the eye and I was like, I've always told my clients that you can set up these days to remember that pain, but there's only so many days in the year. And over time, that calendar is going to fill into a gauntlet of loss, of misery and pain. It makes every day harder. And it's up to us, the individual, to decide for ourselves, do we want this person's memory to become a fetish of our own torment? Or do we want to have that memory serve as a monument of joy, remembering those good times that we shared with them? The laughs, the way they made us feel, those life lessons. It's so much healthier. I mean, I myself, I lost my dearest friend shortly after I moved cross country to Seattle, where I live now. And I remember talking to him around Christmas, and I said to him, I'm going to save up money. I'm going to get you a ticket. I'm going to bring you out here because I miss you. And that was the last conversation we had. Went to call him on shortly after New Year's, and he didn't answer. Called again a week later, no answer. And I just like, what's going on here? I keep missing him. And by the time February rolled around, I was dealing, with my grandmother's passing. March comes along, and that's when his phone line was disconnected. And I thought to myself, this isn't normal. This isn't right. What's going on? So I call, his former employer, because all of our other friends, I didn't really have their numbers. They were just more happenstance friends. And I called his employer, and because I knew her, she was a good woman, and she says, he passed away. The diabetes got him on New Year's Eve. And for a while, I really blamed myself. I was like, had I not left, I probably would have been spending New Year's with my friend. I might have been there to give him that insulin shot. And for a while, it sort of took some of the joy out of that day and turned into a day of pain. And that's when I made that realization of, okay, is this doing my friend justice? I'm turning his memory into something of pain when he was probably one of the most joyous and loving people I've ever met in my life. And I know I'm not alone in that. Everybody has that person that they remember, And I think we all have to do those people justice and remember them through the good times. They don't want to see us suffering every time we remember them. Just food for thought. Be strong, be loving, be joyous. Blessed be.